Hey, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Chris Maloney back with you for another edition of CWN Predicts AEW Revolution 2021, taking place live tonight, 8 o'clock p.m. on Fight, as well as BR Live. And then the pre-show, the buy-in, taking place live at 7 o'clock tonight on YouTube, Fight, as well as BR Live. I tell you this, I'm kind of going to miss that theme music. That's the second last time you will hear it on the show. We'll do the recap show probably tomorrow, maybe tonight. It just depends on how long the pay-per-view itself goes. And then the recap show will be the last time we hear that theme music. So some new theme music, graphics, everything else coming up for episode 30 of CWN Weekly next Friday, this coming Friday, so on March 12th. But like I said, CWN Predicts AEW Revolution 2021. If you're watching the premiere live on YouTube or Facebook, thanks very much. If you listen on audio as well, thank you. Hit the like, subscribe button, and as I always say, all that jazz. So guys, like I said, taking place live tonight, 8 o'clock. Pre-show, the buy-in, taking place live tonight, 7 o'clock p.m. And one match on the show itself. And when I say on the show itself, I mean the buy-in. 9 matches in total, but one on the buy-in is Riho and Thunder Rosa taking on Dr. Britt Baker, DMD. Can't forget to ever include those initials, and Rebel. So that is the opening match, the tag team match there. As far as this goes, it'd be cool to see Riho and Thunder Rosa work together and win. But I mean, is this the beginning and the end for Dr. Britt Baker as well as Rebel? Does she go a separate heel character style as far as Dr. Britt Baker goes, thinking that she's on a losing streak and she's got to do something, she's got to make changes? And do we see dissension among Dr. Britt as well as Rebel? So in saying that, I'm going to say Riho, Thunder Rosa for the win, and Dr. Britt Baker and Rebel, I think, might be the official beginning of the end tonight. I don't think they're going to get along. I don't think they're going to come out strong, considering the fact they're going up against former NWA Women's World Champion as well as the former AEW Women's World Champion there. So, like I said, Riho, Thunder Rosa for the win in the opener there. Then we get to the pay-per-view. Like I said, 8 matches on tap as far as the pay-per-view goes, as well as that big announcements, which I will get into just momentarily here. But match number 1, tag team match, Best Friends, which is Orange Cassidy and Chuck Taylor, taking on Miro and Kip Sabian. Penelope Ford, obviously, in their corner. I'm going to say it's an easy win for Miro and Kip Sabian. There's nothing more they could do, I think, at this point with Orange Cassidy and Chuck Taylor. Obviously, when Trent comes back, there'll be a group once again, which I think would be cool if they ever came out with 6-man tag team titles for AEW, which I think would be cool. But they've got to start building that Miro character. I think they also need to start building Kip Sabian. He should be in the TNT Championship running, as well as it's an easy throw in for these guys to be part of the tag team division with Miro and Kip Sabian. So it's I think now's the time to start building these guys. So Miro and Kip Sabian for the win in this one. Big money match. Winner receives the losers 2021 first quarter earnings. Sounds like we're on a conference call there for. In New York, but Hangman Adam Page taking on Big Money Matt Hardy. I don't know what they do with this one. I can't see Adam Page losing, unless it's Matt Hardy though, so he doesn't lose clean. But Matt Hardy's already had his run. He shouldn't be in AEW to win any kind of championships, especially against somebody like Hangman Page. And I know a championship's not in the line, but the fact is a loss in this one, would hurt the career, in my opinion, of Hangman Adam Page. So I got to say this. I got to say Hangman Adam Page wins, and we see Matt Hardy kind of grovel post-match and everything else with regards to this. And it's a big, good, strong showing for Hangman Adam Page. So I'm going to say Hangman Adam Page for the win in this one here. Then we go on to, I don't know if the match order is correct, but this is, to me, level of importance as far as the AEW pay-per-view goes. But match number 3, Casino Tag Team Royale. Winners get a future AEW World Tag Team Championship match. 15 teams announced for this. I'll go over the rules as well. But Bear Country, so Bear Bronson and Bear Boulder. Then we get Dark Order, Alan 5 Angels and Preston 10 Vance. Dark Order again, which is Alex Reynolds and John Silver. Dark Order once again. Evil Uno, Stu Grayson. Inner Circle, Santana on Ortiz, otherwise known as Proud and Powerful. Jurassic Express, Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus. Death Triangle, which is Pac and Ray Phoenix. Private Party, Isaiah Cassidy, Mark Quinn, SCU, Christopher Daniels, and Frankie Kazarian. And apparently, I'm going to say this now, apparently they're pact, so to speak, with regards to losing and splitting up. Doesn't apply in this match. So if they lose, we'll still see SCU teaming. Butcher and the Blade with the Bunny, the Gun Club, which is Austin Gunn, Colton Gunn, Natural Nightmares, Dustin Rhodes, QT Marshall, the Pretty Pitcher. I don't know if that's the actual team name, but that's what I'm calling them, the Pretty Pitcher, which is Cesar Bononi as well as Pretty Peter Avalon. I'm loving the new gimmick by Avalon, by the way, so I hope they keep it up. The Seidel brothers, which is Matt Seidel, Mike Seidel, and then the Varsity Blondes, which is Brian Pillman Jr. and Griff Garrison. So the rules are this. Order entry is selected by lottery. 2 tag teams will start the match. Every 90 seconds, a new tag team will enter the match. Individual eliminations occur when a competitor is thrown over the top rope and both feet touch the floor. Tag teams are eliminated with both competitors in the rule out of the match. The match will continue until there's only one competitor/tag team remaining. Winning team will then earn a shot at the AEW World Tag Team Championship. So, of all of these teams, I have my bias teams, which is B Dark Order, Stu Grayson, Evo Uno, SSB, which is one of the 2 shirts I could have been wearing today, but I decided not to. What did they do? Who did they put over in this one? Butcher and Blade, also be a bias as well. But looking at this, I'm going to say it's either going to come down to Jurassic Express, Inner Circle, Santana Ortiz, and the Varsity Blondes. So I'd love to see the Varsity Blondes move up. They will eventually. I don't think it's going to be tonight, though. Jurassic Express, it would be cool to see the straps on the 2 of those guys, but they've got issues with FTR right now, so that may play into the match here. So what do? I'm going to say this, and it's going to be a prelude to what's going to take place later on. I'm going to say the Inner Circle wins, which is Santana Ortiz. I'm going to say that is the winners here of the Casino Tag Team Royale. Santana Ortiz, proud and powerful, the Inner Circle, so to speak. But that is my official prediction there. Like I said, I could see Jurassic Express, the Varsity Blondes as well. But I'm going to say Santana Ortiz is my official pick. Match number 4 of the pay-per-view, Face of the Revolution ladder match. Winner gets a future TNT Championship match. Participants, other than one, have all been announced. So the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes, Scorpio Sky, Penta L0, Lance Archer, and then Platinum Max Caster, going singles here. And then one TBD, TBA, to be announced, to be determined. Winner gets a future TNT Championship match, and apparently the way to win is to climb a ladder. And Tony Khan is apparently putting a brass ring on a hook. And you have to get up there and grab that brass ring, so to speak. So that's the rumor of this match, and I wouldn't be surprised to see it up there. So who is the TBD? Who is the to be determined? Mystery opponent, I've put 3 guys down. Sammy Guevara, Sean Spears, and as well as Christian. Yes, WB's Christian. And if you heard me talk with regards to CWN Weekly episode number 29, I'm not a big fan of Christian going to AEW. Now, he has trademarked the name Christian Cage. So if he shows up, he's going to be Christian Cage. Storyline wise over there, he had his moment with Edge in the Royal Rumble, but the fact is they did nothing further than that one interview. With regards to everything that's going on, he has jumped ship before. And if WWE doesn't want to give him the opportunity over there and he still has gas in the tank, then why not? So officially, Sammy Guevara, I'd love to see in this match, but he's got no real history with anybody. Sean Spears, history with obviously the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes. But do they play it out here? Because Cody wants that shot at the TNT Championship again. But why not have that X factor? Because a lot of rumors have been going around lately this past week. Who is that guy that Paul White was talking about? If Christian Cage shows up in this match, it's then people are wondering who the heck is this guy that Paul White's going to announce. So I'm going to say yes. I'm going to go out on a limb. I'm going to say Christian Cage is their mystery opponent in this match. But I'm going to go and officially say, I saw somebody predict Scorpio Sky earlier on. And as much as I like to see Cody's already had his shot. But you know what? I'm gonna go officially. I'm gonna go Scorpio Sky. I'm gonna say this is the night that he finally gets that big win to go on to win his first singles championship in AEW. So I'm gonna go Scorpio Sky in this. And like I said, the mystery opponent, the TBA, the TBD is going to be the one and only Christian Cage debuting for AEW there. Match number 5 in the night, street fight. Sting and Darby Allin taking on Team Taz, which is Brian Cage and Ricky Starks. It hasn't been announced whether it's cinematic or in the ring. I've heard a lot of talk with regards to Sting taking that bump in the ring by Brian Cage, that there was, he's very well padded underneath the t-shirt. They had padded up the ring a little bit more. With guys like Darby Allin and Brian Cage and Ricky Starks who can still go, what did they do with Sting? They can't have certain spots that, all of a sudden they can, put Sting down on, or whatever the case may be. Now, it is a street fight, so it might be outside in the parking lot. It could be outside in the alley. It could be anywhere. Essentially, it could be wherever they shot that promo with Sting and Darby Allin. So I'm going to say this. I'm going to say it's not going to be cinematic. I don't think they're going to have the cinematic cameras out. I'm going to say it is not going to be in the ring, though. If it starts in the ring, it's going to be very quickly to go outside of the building. So in saying that, did they put Team Taz over? No, I don't think so. Sting's first match back in like a while, as far as real wrestling goes. And WWE, he had his moments, but they kind of wrecked the character over there. And, we really didn't get a sense of who the old school Sting was. AEW, we're getting the sense, even though he hasn't wrestled a match, of the old school Sting character. So it makes no sense to me to put over Team Taz in this one. I'm going to say Sting and Darby Allin in the street fight for the win. AEW Women's World Championship match, Hikaru Shida taking on Ryo Mizunami. Surprising to see Mizunami in the finals here. Well, sorry, not in the finals, but the championship match. Surprised to see her win in the finals against Nyla Rose. But to me, again, makes no sense to Mizunami to have her win that championship with COVID-19, still existing, so to speak. So it's not like she can go back to Japan and defend that title, even though it would be cool. Shida, the women's division, I think it's only a matter of time. And then when I say a matter of time, the next 6 months before they start building a really, really, really strong, good women's division that's being talked about all the time. But I think keep this title on Shida. Shida is an amazing champ. Social media, she knows how to present herself, carry herself, and I think she's a strong women's champ. So keep the title on Shida here. So Shida for the win and Shida to retain. Semi-main event, and it might go on second last. We'll have to wait and see. AEW World Tag Team Championship match. We get the Young Bucks, Matt Jackson and Nick Jackson as champs, taking on the Inner Circles, Chris Jericho and MJF. And you got to guarantee Wardlow is going to be part of this. Now, when saying that, does Sammy Guevara get, be part of this as well? I think he might make an appearance, but I don't think he's going to play factor as far as the match itself goes. He doesn't like MJF. MJF doesn't like him. I don't think it was a scenario where all of a sudden it's like, hey, we're going to come back. We're going to screw over the Bucks. I think Sammy Guevara is going to be a face. I don't think he's going to show up in the ladder match. I think he's going to show up in this one. I don't think he's going to play factor as far as the finish goes. I think there's too much Wardlow and Hager. It's too much for Guevara there. So do the Young Bucks win? Heck no. Like I said, winners of the casino, what do they call it there? The Casino Tag Team Royale match. I predicted Santana Ortiz. What's a better way to have them win, to be on that sideline waiting to see who wins the championship match, to go Inner Circle versus Inner Circle. And this is the collapse officially of the Inner Circle there. So it's I'm going to say MJF as well as Chris Jericho for the win to become new tag team champions. And I'm going to say as well that it's going to be Santana Ortiz versus MJF and Chris Jericho down the line. And it's the interesting factor about this that I haven't mentioned is the Good Brothers might be out there as well. So, and then you might see the Young Bucks go after the Impact World Tag Team Championship. So that'd be kind of cool as well. But I'm going to say Chris Jericho, MJF for the win to become new champs there. And then main event. It's interesting when you say the words to a non-wrestling fan. Exploding barbed wire death match. The look that they get on their faces. But yeah, that is the main event. Exploding barbed wire death match for the AEW World Championship. The cleaner Kenny Omega, Canada's own, with Canada's own Don Callis alongside, taking on the one and only Jon Moxley. And Omega has put out little graphics online to show Moxley basically being lit on fire, electrocuted, just Moxley saying see you later to the wrestling business because Omega is going to basically toast him, so to speak. But in saying that, it is going to be a huge match. Apparently one of the things I read was after 30 minutes, everything's going to go off. So if they can't get this match finished within 30 minutes, there's going to be explosions everywhere, which is going to be unique. I haven't heard much about fans in attendance. I don't know. I think it was for this past Wednesday, I heard 1,000 fans in attendance, but I haven't heard anything with regards to fans in attendance, how the setup's going to be. I know tickets were on sale, so I know there's going to be fans, but I don't know how close they're actually going to, be able to get to the ring. It's going to be a huge, insane main event. If my wife is still awake and I'm watching this, she's going to probably be interested in just the setup, be like, why are there barbed wires where the ring ropes are supposed to be? Why are there explosions going off? Isn't this supposed to be a wrestling match? And I'm going to have to explain to her and, explain the initials FMW and Japan and all that sort of stuff. But it's going to be interesting. Where do they go from here? You can't have a strong Kenny Omega as your champ competing on other promotions and take the title off him like that. I don't, but then you got Moxley, who's IWGP United States champion. Is this the moment where we get to see Kazuchika Okada? But the fact is, he's been wrestling in Japan. So do they do a promo like they used to do with Jericho, where all of a sudden Okada appears on the screen and says he's coming for Omega, which, you talk about all of the moments that should happen tonight. That would be one of them for me. I just got goosebumps thinking about Okada as part of AEW. The Rainmaker, Kazuchika Okada, is part of AEW. It's interesting, and I swear to God, I got goosebumps right now. But I say that wearing an official Kenny Omega Bullet Club T-shirt, the Terminator style one. But I'm going to say Omega for the win. And hopefully, fingers crossed, I will mark out at 11 o'clock at night. But I will mark out if Okada appears on screen to cut a promo. I think that would be cool. But I'm going to say officially Omega for the win to retain there. And then the one thing I haven't talked about, Paul White makes a major announcement regarding AEW's next major signing. And if you've listened to the internet as far as podcasts go or Twitter or whatever the case may be, it's like Paul White being announced for AEW was major. But the fact is, he comes out and makes an announcement that they're going to sign a contract live on the pay-per-view for the next star to sign with AEW. Is absolutely amazing here. Names have been mentioned, name dropped, rumors all over the place. One of the things that was mentioned is he's not in the Hall of Fame yet. They made sure to mention that specifically. Christian Cage not in the main event, not in the Hall of Fame yet. But I put him in the ladder match. So I'm going to say he's not my pick. Guys like Kurt Angle have been talked about. He's even been playing it up on social media, but he is in the Hall of Fame. Mark Henry is in the Hall of Fame, and he's been talked about as well. So who do you got left? Two guys who are Chicago-based, two guys that would easily fit into AEW. And those two guys are the one and only Brock Lesnar, and the other guy is Mr. CM Punk. And Brock would be interesting. And, him versus Omega, I said on my podcast on Weekly, I don't want to see it. I don't want to see Brock destroy the AEW roster, but it would be interesting to see. But what kind of schedule is he going to have? Is it going to be full-time, part-time? In saying with that with CM Punk, it's been said he doesn't need the money, but he still has a passion for the business, and that came courtesy of Tommy Dreamer podcast I was listening to last night. They talk about wrestling all the time. And all of a sudden, if you've got CM Punk to, basically come into AEW, you've also got somebody like an AJ Lee to also come into AEW. But has he made up with Colt Cabana? That's the big thing there. Has Cabana and CM Punk, are they on the same wavelength again? There was a lot of history between the two of them a couple of years ago. So in saying that, I'd love to see Brock Lesnar in AEW. But what do you do without a mouthpiece? And do you put him over in every single kind of match, considering what roster they have over there right now? Or do you bring in a CM Punk? I'm going to say CM Punk. Tony Khan said he's been a major fan of this guy who's going to be signed tonight. And I'm going to say this. I'm going to say CM Punk is the guy who comes into AEW tonight to sign that contract with them. I think that would be absolutely phenomenal. And I wouldn't have thought that was true, except for the fact you had that moment on Fox and WWE backstage where all of a sudden Renee Young introduced him and Booker T kind of marked out and Paige marked out. And I'm going to say this. CM Punk signs with AEW tonight. So, guys, that is it for my predictions. And I'll go through it once again. Riho Thunder Rosa in the buy-in to win. I'm going to say Miro and Kip Sabian to win. I'm going to say Hangman Adam Page to win. I'm going to say Inner Circle Santana Ortiz to win the Casino Tag Team Royale. I'm going to say, where are we here? Scorpio Sky for the Face of the Revolution ladder match to win. I'm going to say the mystery opponent coming into that match is Christian Cage. Street Fight, Sting and Darby Allin to go over. AEW Women's World Championship match, Hikaru Shida. AEW World Tag Team Championship match, the Inner Circles, Chris Jericho and MJF and New. And then the Exploding Barbed Wire Death match is Kenny Omega to retain, CM Punk to sign, and hopefully we get an appearance by Okada tonight. That would be absolutely friggin' phenomenal. So, guys, that is it for CWN Predicts AEW Revolution, taking place live tonight, 8 o'clock p.m. on Fight as well as BR Live. And then the kickoff show, pre-show, the buy-in, taking place live tonight, 7 o'clock p.m. on BR Live, Fight as well as YouTube there. As always, check me out at Chris Maloney CWN on social media. I will be back hopefully tonight for CWN Recap just after the show. If it is not tonight, it will definitely be tomorrow sometime, and look for the premiere there. But guys, if you've watched the premiere of this show, thank you very much. If you listened to the audio part of it, thanks again. And we will see everybody again sometime soon for CWN Recap AEW Revolution 2021. But enjoy the show tonight, guys, and take care. And we'll be back sometime soon.